Alright, so for this next project we're going to be building a phone stand, except we're not using a 2x4. Because I think using 2x4 material or pine, it's too light. It doesn't weigh enough. So I'm going to be building one out of Purpleheart. I'm going to start by squaring off this block, then use my phone as a guide to cut it to size. It's about 3.5 inches wide. As I was just saying, I'm using Purpleheart, not only a beautiful wood, but also approximately twice as hard as walnut and nearly 10 times harder than pine. It ranks within the top 15 densest commercial woods, and that's actually part of the reason why I chose it over pine. It doesn't dent easily, it's very durable, and it feels very premium in your hand because it's so heavy. And honestly, if you're going to pay a premium price for a phone stand, it should feel good. Also, you can't really use Purpleheart for too many things. It's very purple, it doesn't really fit in. But a phone stand, great option. I saw similar phone stands on Etsy being sold upwards of $40, and with Christmas around the corner, this makes a great little project to sell, especially since it uses up those weird little scrap chunks. For me, I'm measuring in 1 inch and marking a line. I'll do that on the opposite side as well, so in the end, whether you have a top side up or the bottom side up, it's still usable. I guess it kind of has two top sides. Now, I don't make a second mark, but if you're not into vibe woodworking, a new term I'm coining, which I describe as the act of building without specific measurements and just feeling the project out. I do have a measurement for you. Mark a second line at 1 3/4 inch. We're going to be cutting a dado starting at the 1 inch mark and going to the 1 3/4 inch mark. I find the easiest, most reliable, and safest way to do this is with the table saw and my crosscut sled. I vibed this one again. The depth was 5/8. Well, 11/16 of an inch if we're being specific, Bob. Thumbs up if you get that reference, that's a good one. Oh, and I didn't cover this earlier. The overall thickness of my wood is just under 2 inches.
What do you mean by that?
Now, really quick, if you could take a moment to like the video, if you're enjoying it so far, leave a comment, good or bad. I read them all. And subscribe. I've got a bunch of small project videos you can check out, try building, get inspired, and maybe even make some money woodworking. And speaking of that, I sometimes get comments about safety. Simple sleds like this, the biggest danger is the blade coming out the back end. I keep eye contact with my thumbs to make sure they're not in the path of the blade. Moving on with the build. After I got to a point where the phone sat at a good angle, I repeated the same process on the opposite side, and then, between poorly using a chisel and some sanding, I cleaned up those grooves. Before calling it done, I decided to add some angles and trim a bit of length off of it, about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch off each side. I set my saw to 10 degrees, tested it on a 2x4, lined it up, liked it, and went to make the cut. But I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I filled in the gaps in the back with some scrap wood, which made me a lot more comfortable because the piece was no longer wobbling. Then I added more bevels, repeating the same process on the opposite side, followed by a small bevel on each of the end faces. I don't like rhombuses, but I don't mind hexagons. If you're doing this or close cuts like this, I highly recommend a hold down stick. You'll probably see me use one for nearly all small cuts like this going forward. In fact, as I'm editing this video right now, I added one to my cart and ordered it. To finish this off, I sanded it with some 240 grit sandpaper. I think that's what it was, at least. This was supposed to be for me, but my wife has been using it quite a bit. I added some professional polyurethane finish, and you can trust me that I did 3 coats in total with light sanding of 400 grit in between coats.
So that was a f***ing lie.
I definitely did not do that. One was fine enough for me. These foam stands make great Christmas stocking stuffers for loved ones or unloved ones. Maybe make one for that one boss you don't like out of pine. Or make a few and try selling them. It's just scrap after all. It's a quick, satisfying project, and genuinely, I cannot believe how many people are selling these foam stands exactly like this on Etsy and how much money they're making off them. Some are even simpler than this, and hundreds are selling. The other day I saw a bunch listed as out of stock, priced anywhere from $20 to $40. So my question to you is, what would you charge for this? And my friends, I'll see you in the next one.